What's it like as a player to go from playing 6 games in 10 days to get a break and then going right back into it and doing the exact same thing over again?
Yeah, I mean, obviously our schedule has been definitely before the break was quite busy. So get a little break and reset is nice. And then I mean, right back at it. So we got big win yesterday and playing a extremely good team today. So we're gonna have to be sharp and ready to go to start the game for sure.
Washington has kind of surprised some people with just how good they've been this year. What stood out to you about, I guess, maybe kind of their evolution as a
I think they play a really good team game. You look at their defense. I think they have 6 really good defensemen that move the puck well and skate well. So and then obviously they have guys who can put the puck in the net. So I think when everyone buys in to obviously what they're preaching over there, that's what translates. I think.
Just back to Alex, when you see him chasing Wayne's goal record and his age and the games he's played, what kind of goes through your mind?
I mean, I don't think about it too much. Obviously, he's a amazing player and one of the greatest of all time. Tonight we're going to focus on trying to stop him, and we'll see how that goes. But obviously, great. He's a great player and has scored a lot of goals in this league.
How's a couple of injuries, obviously, but Lorentz looked like he was.
He should be fine. He'll be fine. Yeah.
Encouraging to see 34 out there this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good to see him on the. Well, he's been on the ice the last couple of days, so making real good progress, which is great, and he's feeling a lot better.
Is there a target date on when he could return yet?
No, that's too early yet.
And Yanni Hakanpää on the ice too. Has he been skating, and is there a return date for him at all?
No, he's been skating, but he's a ways away yet.
Matt Murray tonight.
Yes.
How'd you like doing the coaches on this
Well, it
morning?
was great because Austin was out there, so they weren't paying attention, and I was just talking to myself the whole time, which was perfect. I don't blame him. I'd be watching Matthews too.
You like that?
Yeah,
You
it was
like that
great
change?
though. No, it's good. I think it's great that there's a lot of guys, a lot of people, a lot of coaches there, and you know, yeah, I enjoy that stuff. Like talking to coaches, young coaches, and questions and things like that. I enjoy that.
You guys all had to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, everybody does, right? Whether you're a youth coach or junior coach or whatever, and you're always looking to get new ideas, and it's the same as me. I'm always talking to coaches and reading things on coaches and getting new ideas and trying to learn and get better.
Craig, what sticks out about the Capitals, the way they played this year?
Yeah, they're a very good team. You look down the center ice, it's a deep center ice for me. It's big. Their team's got great size. I thought they added some defensemen that have really drove their team up, and their goalies have been good. So, they play a good brand of hockey. It's very direct. I always say, like, you play a team. How do you want your team to look like? And I think the Capitals, they get that on a nightly basis. How they want their team to look.
When you think about how you want your team to look, when you see that physical buy-in that they show, I mean, what does that tell you as a coach?
Well, they're buying in. I think, it's a constant message and it's constant teaching. Being physical, having good sticks, blocking shots, the ugly part of the game. And it's important, though. That's how you win. And we got to keep working on it, keep teaching it.
Speaking of that, there was some heavy blocks last night. You guys were
Yeah.
taking high sticks in the face and blocking shots.
I
at
thought
all
our
parts.
team was committed last night coming off a break. I thought we played a hard game. Detroit played a hard game. I thought they were a handful. I thought they came out and worked and really drove the pace of the game for us. But we matched it, and we did a good job.
It looks like
Thanks.
Alex. Matthew, sorry, Alex is expected to play tonight.
Yeah.
when you think of his whole career, what kind of goes
Well,
through you?
sensational. I mean, just a guy that can score. This the size and strength of him, and I guess it's his mindset, game in and game out. And I always found him, he's always seems like in a good mood out there and enjoying the game. That's watching him from afar, like whether I'm coaching or just watching him. He really loves the game and loves to score goals. And he can score goals in a lot of different ways. I mean, you could be right on him and he gets his stick on that puck, it could go in. He's obviously one of the best goal scorers of all time. We all know that. If he plays tonight, we got to be on him. We got to be tight to him. I mean, because, you can be this far away and,
The Leafs center dilemma: who can strengthen the roster? If you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan like me, you know the team's center depth has been a constant concern this season. With Auston Matthews set to return from a mysterious upper body injury next week, the excitement of having our star back is palpable. However, there are still serious issues to address in the center position to keep the team competitive and, of course, fuel our playoff dreams. David Kampf, a key piece in the center rotation, is sidelined with a lower body injury. As if that weren't enough, Kalle Jarnkrok is still recovering from surgery, leaving another gap in the lineup. Max Domi, expected to be a versatile asset, has been placed on injured reserve, further aggravating the situation after missing consecutive practices due to lingering pains. To sum it up, the Leafs are missing 4 functional centers, and the pressure to act is mounting. James Myrtle, a respected Leafs analyst and contributor to The Athletic, highlighted a series of potential trade targets to address this dilemma during his appearance on the J.D. Bunky's podcast. Among the names mentioned, 2 stood out: Nick Jugstad and, for the nostalgic fans, a possible reunion with Ryan O'Reilly. Jugstad seems to be Myrtle's favorite, and for good reason. The player, who signed a 2-year deal with the Utah Hockey Club last offseason, carries a manageable $2.1 million cap hit, which is essential for a team as salary cap-strapped as the Leafs. Additionally, standing at 6 feet 6 inches and weighing 205 pounds, he would bring not only physicality but also consistent offensive contributions. Jugstad is the most viable option for the Leafs right now, Myrtle stated on the podcast. And he's right. Experienced and versatile, Jugstad has played for several teams, including the Florida Panthers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Minnesota Wild, and Edmonton Oilers, and could quickly adapt to the Leafs dynamic. With an affordable contract and a solid track record, he offers a practical solution without sacrificing too many future assets. However, it's impossible to ignore the possibility of a Ryan O'Reilly return. Yes, we know he chose the Nashville Predators last summer in search of a quieter environment, but the Leafs management still holds him in high regard. The 2019 Stanley Cup-winning captain with the St. Louis Blues is precisely the type of player any contender would love to have on their roster. However, the cost of bringing him back would be steep, both in terms of trade assets and cap space adjustments, as Nashville or a third team would need to retain part of his salary. I don't think the O'Reilly scenario is entirely out of reach, Myrtle said, showing that there's optimism within the organization. However, there are doubts about how much it's worth investing in a 33-year-old player, even with his impeccable credentials. Meanwhile, cheaper internal options like Steven Lorentz, Connor Dewar, Pontus Holmberg, and Fraser Minton have been mentioned. But let's be honest, these names might serve as short-term stopgaps, but they're far from offering the stability and impact the team needs. The pressure is all on GM Brad Treliving. He knows that despite the Leafs' solid performance so far, the center position is crucial to sustaining any championship aspirations. With the trade deadline approaching, Treliving has likely intensified his efforts to finalize a deal. And we, the fans, are eagerly awaiting good news. For now, all we can do is trust that the team can weather this tough phase and hope a solution, whether it's Jugstad, O'Reilly, or another name, arrives before things spiral out of control. After all, as we all know, the Leafs don't have the luxury of wasting another season with a promising but incomplete roster. The time to act is now. The Leafs center dilemma, expanding on the potential solutions. The Toronto Maple Leafs, amidst another promising yet tumultuous season, face one of their most pressing challenges, addressing a depleted center lineup that threatens to derail their momentum. While the return of Auston Matthews is a beacon of hope, the broader picture remains dire, requiring urgent action from the front office. With Kampf, Jarnkrok, and Domi sidelined, the team's depth has been stretched thin. The immediate impact is clear on both ends of the ice. Defensively, the Leafs are struggling to suppress opposing top lines without reliable two-way centers. Offensively, puck distribution and power play setups have been less dynamic, as the makeshift lineups lack the same chemistry. This imbalance underscores the necessity for reinforcements. Nick Jugstad, as highlighted by James Myrtle, presents the most realistic trade option. His affordable contract and towering physical presence align perfectly with the Leafs' needs. Beyond his imposing stature, Jugstad brings versatility. He can play both center and wing, a flexibility that would allow head coach Sheldon Keefe to adjust the lineup dynamically. However, acquiring Jugstad isn't without complications. The Utah Hockey Club, formerly the Arizona Coyotes, is currently rebuilding but may still demand a premium return for their experienced forward. The Leafs will likely need to part with a mid-tier prospect or draft pick to make the deal work. With their prospect pool already thin, Treliving faces a tough decision. Another name that excites fans and analysts alike is Ryan O'Reilly. The former Conn Smythe winner and Stanley Cup champion has a proven track record of elevating teams in high-stakes situations. His leadership during his brief stint with Toronto last season left a lasting impression. Yet, the Predators have little incentive to move him unless the offer is overwhelming. Should the Leafs pursue O'Reilly, it would almost certainly require a multi-asset package. A first-round pick and a promising young player like Nick Robertson might need to be part of the conversation. Additionally, Nashville would have to retain salary, a process that often involves a third-party team to facilitate. The logistics are challenging but not insurmountable. Internal options like Pontus Holmberg and Fraser Minton offer short-term relief but lack the experience needed for a deep playoff run. Holmberg has shown flashes of potential, but his limited NHL exposure raises questions about his readiness for a consistent role. Minton, while promising, is still developing and would be better served continuing his growth in the minors. A wild-card option could be exploring European leagues or waiver claims to unearth an overlooked talent. Teams like the Vegas Golden Knights and Colorado Avalanche have found gems in unconventional ways, and the Leafs scouting department may need to cast a wider net to uncover an affordable, immediate solution. Another factor complicating the Leafs' decisions is the looming salary cap crunch. With Matthews' extension set to kick in soon, Toronto must be mindful of every financial commitment. Adding a high-priced center now could limit flexibility during the off-season, forcing Treliving to juggle short-term needs against long-term sustainability. Trade timing will also play a pivotal role. Acting quickly could stabilize the team and prevent further slip-ups in the standings, but it may come at the cost of negotiating leverage. Alternatively, waiting closer to the deadline could yield better deals as selling teams grow more desperate. The risk, however, is enduring several more weeks of uncertainty. Sheldon Keefe's role in navigating this storm can't be overstated. His ability to extract maximum effort from an injury-riddled lineup will be crucial. Keefe has already experimented with unconventional line combinations, but the lack of true centers limits his tactical options. A new acquisition would provide the stability he needs to implement a more structured game plan. The Leafs locker room has remained resilient through adversity, with veterans like John Tavares and Morgan Reilly stepping up as vocal leaders. However, even their efforts may not be enough to overcome the absence of key personnel. Reinforcements are not just a luxury, they're a necessity. For fans, the anxiety is palpable. After years of playoff heartbreak, this season feels like another chapter in the saga of unmet expectations. Yet, there's cautious optimism. The team has shown glimpses of brilliance, and the addition of a solid center could be the missing piece that transforms them from contenders to genuine threats. As the trade rumors swirl, one thing is certain: the next few weeks will be critical in shaping the Leafs season. Whether it's Jugstad, O'Reilly, or an unexpected name, the decision made by Brad Treliving and his staff could define not just this campaign, but the team's trajectory for years to come. For now, we wait, hopeful that the Leafs will seize the moment and finally deliver on their immense potential. Will the Leafs make their move? As the speculation intensifies, the Leafs fan base is holding its collective breath, waiting for signs of a breakthrough.